going on, everybody? It's Matty T and Hank G. It's time to preview Group B at Dallas. It's a good one. Always my favorite Group B. No reason, just because.
Well, it's a slightly less scary group compared to Group A, I would say, Matt. Kicking things off, North at the top, #1 in the European division, then Liquid, Mousesports, NRG, Na'Vi, and Optic Gaming.
Yeah, I agree with you. #1 in the European division, but a little bit of an interesting storyline for North coming into this, obviously. Down in Australia, not the best time. They actually lost to Chiefs in the group stages. That knocked them out of the event with a 1-3 scoreline, and that was a bit of a surprise for everyone.
Yeah, ever since Epicenter and really since AZ joined the team, they've been kind of plateauing. They haven't really turned up to any big events and got really deep into the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can step up here in Dallas. We just saw AZ in that 2v2 tournament over in Bucharest. He looked much better. He seems he's got his confidence back. So hopefully he can strike and they can have a decent run in this tournament.
He did look much, much better. I think they were the surprise of the 2 versus 2 there with Cajun B. It wasn't the Magisk and Config duo you might have expected, as those two have been red hot. They'll need to be in this group because one of the teams they actually go up against in this group is Mousesports, and they're a team that's been on the rise, a surprising team as well, because it's Nico that left them halfway, or at least a third of the way through the season, and yet they still carried on to make the playoffs.
Yeah, losing the world's best player actually made them a better unit, which is amazing in a sense. It's actually inspired the likes of Dennis, and the addition of Rops as well. They've looked much better. Here you can see them actually 16-0ing Na'Vi. Who would have thought Mousesports could ever do that? Yeah,
that's ridiculous, and you're dead right about Rops. I'm extremely excited. It'll be a second LAN as far as I know. He also played at DreamHack Tour. Did quite well, and him moving into this team has been very, very exciting. As you say, though, Na'Vi has been struggling tremendously. 16-0'd by Mouse. They've been on the down and out, so we'll have to see them recover because I think changes could be in the cards. If not, we'll see if Simple gets more onto the AWP. That said, on the other side of things, the North American side, you get Optic and Liquid in the same group, which means you get Stanislaus' former squad going up against his new soldiers.
It's so strange, isn't it? You think about Optic Gaming, looking back to their E-League success as well, that Stanislaus was part of the team. He then leaves, he goes to join Team Liquid. None of them looking especially great right now. But Stanislaus, probably one of the most, I guess, experienced in-game leaders of Optic in the North American scene right now. I'm expecting some big things for Liquid. Optic, I'm not so sure. We saw them in Sydney as well, using Hazed, and it was okay. He did pretty well, but overall the team looks in disarray.
It was better than I expected. Obviously, Jason R wasn't able to attend that event. It was much better than I expected from them. In fact, I thought they really did have an outside shot of making it through to the playoffs. They managed to do so. It was surprising, but it's still not convincing, I think. It's not where they were sort of the end of 2016 and the start of early 2017. That said, there's another interesting storyline and connection between the two of them, and of course, or rather at least between Optic and another team in the group. It's the Spanish connection. Mixwell has been an absolute star on Optic for a while now, but Lowell is having a breakout on Mousesports. Another reason they're doing well.
It's amazing to think. If you go back to ESL Barcelona, when we had G-Bots turn up to the event, a Spanish team no one really heard of, they've bred some amazing talent, and now Mousesports and Optic both benefiting from it. They're the superstars now within the scene. Mixwell, we saw him over in Sydney as well, not looking his best, but he's always going to be dangerous at these sort of events as well. Lyle's been one of my favorite players to watch in 2016 especially. He looked like out of nowhere, just turned up and is actually doing some great things in the Mousesports camp.
Yeah, and interesting you say that Mixwell didn't have the best result for Optic in Sydney. He's on to the full-time AWP role. He's not quite in that hybrid rifle style that he used to go with, and I think he was definitely looking a little bit uncomfortable. So pressure's going to be on them for sure. Of course, NRG also in this group, but Dark Horse maybe, I'm not sure. They're surprising, but we will get all kinds of surprises when we get to Dallas. No thoughts on that, Henry?
We will get some surprises. I agree with you on NRG. I feel like they're not going to do too much into it, but it's going to be a good group. Like we said, they're probably the less scary of the two, comparing it to Group A. In terms of favourites, I think I'm going to have to go with Na'Vi, North up there, fighting for first and second, but it should be an interesting group all the same.
It will be, undoubtedly. We'll see you there. Dallas is going to be wild. It's going to be sweet.